So this is from a series of poems I wrote about Cambodian refugees. And this is a dramatic monologue spoken by a Cambodian woman who is living in the suburbs of Baltimore in the early 80s. It's called Boatwoman Towson. It's in 4 parts. 1. Tadpoles. The neighbor's girl brings me a jar of tadpoles. On the bottom is a layer of silt. Above the silt, the tadpoles swim. They are quicker and blacker than the silt. They are black like ink, writing the history of Asia. Sir, when I was very small, there was a ditch I played in, rimmed with banyans and thornflowers, that filled in the spring with rain. When I dipped my hands in the mud, singing, "Come, tadpoles, tadpoles, come," the tadpoles came, writing their names in the water. Later, when the soldiers came, we hid there. We had carried too much with us from Phnom Penh, and we were afraid. I squinched against the bank, hearing the jeer of orders, the scuffed earth over me break into dirt. Now I lift the jar from the hands of the neighbor's girl and watch the silt kick up. The tadpoles dart this way and that. The tadpoles dive for cover, writing, "Tadpole, tadpole, tadpole." I watch them dive into the kick of silt, the old mudsack of memories. 2. Name. This is how I write my name, how I wrote it when I was called it in its language. Sir, before your ballpoints squeak, there was my father's quill, so quick, like swish things underwater. Then slowly and more scratchily, with his hand enclosing mine, as he guides my way across the page, he speaks. Back of each sound he makes, the old called names, "Come, tadpole, tadpole, come spilling from their sack. My brother as he mends his bicycle, and back of him a brown dust kicking up from cartwheels. Of that, the trees, these buildings rising to the treetops, this map of streets and turns and side streets, to green hills, to a moon of rice paper. 3. Bat. A bat got in my bathroom. That day I had received a letter. As I read, the room my father sat in, lit by one lamp, opened like an arm. Refolding it, I looked up. I saw this crease of blackness, panting on a heap of donated blouses, and I took it that it moved, and screamed. What did I think I was fighting? Where did the darkness come from? Was it back, or out, or in? When it was almost dead, I thrust it in the bowl. It would not flush. It lay panting, and I wept. What did I think I was killing? My neighbor saved me. When I came back to myself, my wrists clutched in her hands, I could feel her feel the fight go out of them. She let them loose. She slipped her fingers through my fingers, so gently. But sir, her husband looked at me as if I were a piece of blackness he had just seen move. 4. Tadpoles. Now their daughter brings me tadpoles. All day I am a girl again. I watch them chart the spirals of the jar and write my name and wait for them to turn to something else. Sir, translate it for me, this figure for trapped things, from this my alphabet, whose twists reroute me to lost cities. From this my own sweet tongue, whose jar of dark syllables, for me alone, throws edges, shadows, light.